for lack of better words, committed willingness. A willingness without reservation. That's a little bit easier to hear. Willingness without reservation. That you can grasp. Commitment to willingness sounds like work. But willingness without reservation expresses exactly the correct meaning of those words. Willingness without reservation means you paying attention with innocent eyes, with innocent mind, not introducing anything from your memory into the conscious experience of the moment you're in. Again, there is a rationale for choice. Only one teacher knows what your reality is, the truth about you. If learning that is the purpose of the curriculum, you must learn it of him. The ego does not know what it is trying to teach. The only thing it teaches is what it supposes is true. The only thing it teaches is what it wants to be true. It is not able to teach what is true because it's a state of mind, you might say, that has already said, I want to give what is true new definition. And therefore everything that it has defined has been a distortion of truth. So it doesn't know how to tell the truth or teach the truth. Again, the ego does not know what it is trying to teach. It is trying to teach you what you are without knowing it, without knowing what you are. The ego is expert only in confusion. It does not understand anything else. As a teacher, then, it is totally confused and totally confusing. And let's get a reality check here. This teacher that is totally confused and totally confusing is you behind a mask. Having become so familiar with the mask that you think it is what you are instead of that which is wearing the mask. And it's in the having forgotten what you are that everything that follows is and can only be the teaching of confusion. Continuing, even if you could disregard the Holy Spirit entirely, which is quite impossible, you could learn nothing from the ego because the ego knows nothing. Why doesn't the ego know anything? Why does the ego know nothing? Because its very existence is predicated upon defining all that is as something different from what it is. And in the making of the definitions and the committed attention it gives to its definitions, it is ignoring what everything is. Therefore it cannot know what anything is. When you are committed to your memory and you operate only from within the confines of your memory, you cannot know what anything is. You cannot know what anything truly is. Therefore, at the moment, you're not experiencing anything as it truly is, no matter how peaceful it may be at the moment. And it's your birthright to be experiencing everything for what it is. And so, it becomes my task, and it becomes the Holy Spirit's task to get you to pay attention to the apparently irrational idea that everything you know is wrong. Is not valid, and therefore is not truly valuable to you. And that it is the reason you're not happy. And it is the reason that you are never free from fear, anxiety, or the feeling of vulnerability in one way or another. I don't want you to be experiencing pure misery in order for you to be willing to change directions. But the less misery you're experiencing, the more difficult it is for you to accept the idea that you, in this state of relative peace and harmony, are still experiencing reality from an invalid place that does need to be denied completely, that does need to be abandoned completely, because until you annul the divorce that was 100% divorce, you cannot be available for the 100% experience of your identity and of the joy that it's your birthright to be experiencing. You might say that I'm saying, no matter how happy you are right now, you can't dare to be happy because your happiness isn't real. You could interpret that to mean, wow, I should be upset. I should be uneasy. I'm so far off the track that I must be crazy, and that is alarming. No, what I'm saying is, whatever level of joy and harmony you're experiencing is not valid. It's only peace and harmony relative to someone else's chaos and suffering. And I'm saying peace and harmony that is real is your birthright and is available to you. But You won't experience it until you go to a different source than your memory. It's that simple. Stop using your memory banks to perceive everything and to determine whether you're safe or not, whether you're happy or not. Your memory is a closed system. Your being is infinite. One more time. Your memory is a closed system. Your being is infinite. Those are the only two teachers you have available to you. Simple. The Course in Miracles is the movement from the teacher that doesn't really exist to the one that does. And it occurs by withdrawing your investment of faith in your memory banks and your willingness to abandon yourself to an infinite paradigm in which you're not in control, because no control is needed, and in which you be not to survive, but to give conscious acknowledgement and recognition to all that is real and to joy in it. But you know what? Returning home, the journey back, will not occur if you don't know that there's a choice. And it won't occur unless you make the choice. And unless you make the choice, you won't abandon what doesn't work. And you won't withdraw your faith and commitment to your memory, a closed system. So, with that we will end for the day. We'll continue reading from the Course, but let it be understood that the Course is this inner journey of undoing. And really beginning to be in a different way from a different place in you. In other words, instead of being out from the mask and the costume, you will start being from the standpoint and vantage point of that which is divinely real underneath the mask and the costume. And from there you will do and be based upon the way things work, based upon what is true, because you will know the truth, instead of acting on the basis of the mask and the costume and all of the definitions that you have created about it and about how this presence behaves and gains credibility and respect and manages to survive because it's skillful at surviving. You will abandon all of the infrastructure of beliefs and ideas that you have built around the mask and the costume. And I'm going to say that you will be from not a structure of ideas or thoughts, but from a movement of love, because that is what's underneath the mask and the costume. I love you all. And I just encourage you to not make this course in miracles, this journey back, strenuous. The only thing that will make it strenuous will be waffling back and forth between one teacher and the other. That will make it strenuous. And it's not necessary. I will stop for today, but I will never stop.